Hello, SquirrelTribe. So for those of you who were on the live stream yesterday or saw yesterday's live stream that we put up maybe 15 minutes after the attempted assassination of Donald Trump, you saw that we did not have much information at that time. Well, it's been a few hours, it's been overnight, and a lot more information has come out. I have a lot here I want to talk to you guys about. Now, there will be plenty of channels that will have a ton of information and probably be able to string it along in a more precise way. Y'all know how I like to add emotion into this and some common sense, which a lot of media outlets will not add common sense into anything. But we're going to talk about exactly what happened, what they're saying right now, and then we're going to look at all the holes in this whole thing that make absolutely no sense whatsoever and really do make it look like it's either an inside job or something that was designed by the left. And you will understand as we go through here exactly what I mean. So first off, let's just go ahead and say they have identified the shooter. According to this, authorities have identified the gunman who tried to assassinate Donald Trump yesterday, but are still racing to understand what the shooter's motives were and how he was able to get so close to Trump. That part being the most important out of the whole thing, in my opinion. The FBI have named the gunman as Thomas Matthew Crooks because, of course, you have to have all three names when you're a killer, not a serial killer, but a killer or, attempted assassinator. I don't know if that's the right word or not. But he's a 20-year-old from Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, which is only about 45 minutes from Butler, Pennsylvania, where the rally was being held yesterday. Let's see. Crooks was a registered Republican, though records show that he had donated money to a liberal voter turnout group in 2021, like $15 or so. The attack killed one spectator at the scene and left two others critically injured. This is according to officials. Yesterday, when we went live, we knew that somebody was injured. We knew that Trump had been shot, but we did not have any information. It has come out since then that there was a death. I have the visuals here. This is the man who unfortunately lost his life. I'm going to show you his picture. We're not editing today. We're just going to show stuff here on the screen. So this is the man that lost his life. He just celebrated his 50th birthday. He was there with his wife and daughters, and he dove to protect them after the first shot was fired. He was protecting them and he got killed in the process. He had just retired from being a firefighter. I believe he was a fire chief, had literally just gone through retirement, was at this rally to support Trump with his family because they believe in what Donald Trump stands for and what he could do for this country. And he lost his life defending or protecting his wife and daughters. And it's a horrible, horrible way to go. He will be remembered forever by numerous people because of exactly how all of this took place. But it's horrific no matter what, that this man lost his life for no reason whatsoever, right? So that's where we are there. Let me get back to the top of my notes here. Now, this was the press statement, the United States Secret Service press statement that came out right after the shooting yesterday. Some of you may have already heard this. Bear with me. It says here, during former President Trump's campaign rally in Butler, Pennsylvania on the evening of July 13th at approximately 6:15 p.m., that would be Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time, a suspected shooter fired multiple shots towards the stage from an elevated position outside of the rally venue. U.S. Secret Service personnel neutralized the shooter, who is now deceased. U.S. Secret Service quickly responded with protective measures, and the former president is safe and being evaluated. One spectator was killed. Two spectators were critically injured. The incident is currently under investigation, and the Secret Service has formally notified the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Now, this is from Anthony Guglielmi, Chief of Communications for the Secret Service. Now, immediately after that, you had other statements coming out. You have from Barack Obama, from President Biden, and from Donald Trump himself. Let me read you the one from Donald Trump. This came out a few hours after the whole incident took place. He posted this, I believe, to Truth Social, his website. It says, I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all of law enforcement for their rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed and also to the family of another person that was badly injured. They've now upped that to 2 people, but at the time, Donald Trump did not know that. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong and that I heard a whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. God bless America. And somebody tried to say that, Donald Trump doesn't put out his own tweets on X or his own post on Truth Social, but we all know this sounds just like a Donald Trump thing where he says much bleeding took place. That's very Donald Trump talk. Y'all know exactly what I mean. He has a cadence and a way that he speaks and the way that he phrases things. You can't tell me that somebody wrote this for him. Donald Trump took the time out after getting shot at one of his rallies, after the assassination attempt, to get out and let people know, let his I don't know if fans and followers is really the way to phrase this, but his community, I like that better. His community know exactly what was going on, that he was okay. Now, after that, Barack Obama came out and with a tweet. I don't know where this is from, honestly. It doesn't look like it's on X. I don't know exactly where this was posted, but it says there's absolutely no place for political violence in our democracy. Although we don't know yet exactly what happened, we should all be relieved that former President Trump wasn't seriously hurt and use this moment to recommit ourselves to civility and respect in our politics. Michelle and I are wishing him a quick recovery. Then, of course, Biden came out. And he says, I have been briefed on the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. I'm grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family and for all those who are at the rally as we await further information. Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. We must unite as one nation to condemn it. Although I do believe somewhere along the lines a couple days ago, July 8th specifically, Biden said something along the lines of Trump needed a target on him. I don't remember exactly how it was phrased, but it seemed like a war cry or a call to action. And maybe this Thomas Matthew Crooks heard it and took it upon himself to do the bidding of Joe Biden, because that is how it came across. I mean, plenty of people have made comments that sound inciting of violence in the past few months. And when the assassination attempt happened, I talked about it yesterday in the live stream, you know, without any information, not really sure what was going on. I still was like, I'm surprised that this is the first that this has happened. This is, I think they said, the first actual assassination attempt that has had blood drawn in over 4 decades. They said that there were ones against Barack Obama and George W. Bush and somebody else in the past, 4 decades. But this is the first one where there was actual violence attached to it and blood was drawn and it had some heft to it, right? So that's going to go down in the history books as well. Now, I find it interesting that we're sitting here talking about, where is it? The press statement from the Secret Service. They said a suspected shooter fired multiple shots toward the stage from an elevated position outside of the rally venue, and Secret Service responded with protective measures and former president safe, blah, blah, blah. Here's the problem. They were tipped off long before any shooting had transpired that there was a possible shooter. I've got so many notes here. Before I even show you the picture of this guy, which I don't really want to show you his picture. You've all seen it. I don't like giving airtime to the attacker. You know what I mean? This should be more about the victims, not about the attacker. So I don't really want to show you his pictures, but I will in a little bit. But this BBC article, why the BBC was at the Trump rally, I'm still not quite sure of either. But this guy looks crazy. I know you guys have seen him. I'm just going to show you his picture real fast. This guy looked crazy, and a lot of people weren't taking him seriously. But I read this, and it says here that Greg Smith said he saw the man crawling on top of a building just outside the event in Butler County on Friday. He said he pointed the gunman out to the police. This is his quote. I'm thinking to myself, why is Trump still speaking? Why have they not pulled him off the stage? The next thing you know, shots ring out. The former president, again, was immediately swarmed by Secret Service agents and escorted away. He was seen with blood on his face and later said a bullet had pierced his ear. What they forgot to mention was before he was escorted away, Trump said, wait a second. And he said, fight, fight, fight. He tried to, let them know he was okay and let them know that this doesn't stop anything, right? Now, the gunman is dead. This is, again, according to officials. Mr. Smith was listening from outside the rally. So when I had the live stream yesterday, I was questioning how somebody got into the rally with a gun, because again, at that point, we had no idea where the shots came from. Nobody knew who it was, what was going on. So I was questioning how somebody was able to get a gun into the rally. Do they not do screening or whatever? And a lot of people in the comments were like, no, they screen. There's a metal detector. You get pat down before you can get into the rally. And it's because this person wasn't in the rally. They were outside the rally on a building. Now, according to this, Mr. Smith said he saw the gunman around 5 minutes into Trump's speech. We noticed the guy bear crawling up the roof of the building beside us about 50 feet away. He had a rifle. We could clearly see a rifle. We're pointing at him. The police are down there running around on the ground. We're like, hey man, there's a guy on the roof with a rifle, and the police did not know what was going on. That's suspicious. Number one, Mr. Smith said he tried to alert the authorities for 3 to 4 minutes, but thought they probably could not see the gunman because of the slope of the roof. Why is there not Secret Service on all of these roofs here? He asked. This is not a big place. It's a security failure, 100% security failure, which is 100% accurate. Let me get back to my notes so I can show you guys the picture here. So let's see if I can get this to get bigger. Okay, so here's what you have. Let's see how this works. Here is the whole everything. This is where the shooter was. This is where Secret Service was. And here's Trump's stage. They're the same distance. Why did they have somebody back here from Secret Service and not over here? Why were they not here? Why were they behind Trump and not in front of Trump? Why didn't they have somebody here and here? There's so many points here where there should have been Secret Service or police or somebody to protect Trump and the people around him. And yet they only had him back here. And you're going to tell me that all those roofs have slopes, whether this guy is sloped or not. The Secret Service is at the same height. They should have been able to see the rifle. They're snipers. These are snipers. They are looking through their scope. They have a view. They should have been able to see this man, especially if he was up there for a few minutes, because according to the Greg Smith guy, he was warning them that the guy was on the roof with the rifle. He was up there for long enough to get into position to take the shots that he wanted to take. And yet Secret Service did not see him or stop him until everything was said and done, which again, very shady in my opinion. Now, it has been said that Trump has been asking for a larger Secret Service detail for more protection, especially the closer we're getting to elections. We don't know how many threats he is getting. There's no way he's going to come out and be like, hey, I'm receiving 1,000 threats a day, because he doesn't want to worry his constituents. That's the right word I was looking for earlier. He doesn't want to worry people. So he's not going to tell you if he's getting these threats left and right. We don't know, but he obviously has been getting something if he's requesting extra security detail and then they're not giving it to them. Why didn't they give it to him? You know what I mean? Like, you have police on the ground, you have Secret Service up on one roof. Why wasn't there enough to keep him safe at this rally? Very suspicious in my personal opinion. Let's see, let me get back to where we were. So where are we? Hold on, I have so much. Now, they also are saying that there were 2 explosive devices that were found in the car of the gunman and a possible third at his residence. The AR-15 type semi-automatic rifle found next to the gunman's body was purchased by a family member, possibly his father, according to an official. Although his father, when police showed up to surround the house, the father was like, I have no idea what's going on. What are you doing here? What's going on? I need to talk to, the police or a lawyer first before he talked to anybody else. So he pretended to not have any idea what was going on. Who knows if that's true? I'm sure more will come out about that. This picture here says a lot. Let's see. A photo showing what appears to be a projectile passing by Trump during the rally. So can you see, again, where it's circled right there? That does look like a bullet headed towards, and it would be hitting his ear. Now, he had turned his head right before that bullet hit. If he had not turned, he was facing this way and turned. If he had still been facing this way, it would have gone through his temple. It would have been an assassination, not an assassination attempt. He would have crumpled immediately. The fact that at the last second he turned his head after this shot was, shot, and he turned his head and it grazed him, we could have had a completely different conversation yesterday and today than the one that we are having. Thankfully, that last second movement of his head literally saved his life, just so we're all fully aware. I'm very curious because I haven't seen it yet. It's possible it's out there. Maybe somebody else has it on their channel. I know Stephen Gardner will probably cover this. He's amazing. I know Amala Ekpanobi did a live stream about it yesterday. I have not watched it. Kevin247, my husband, he's been working on some stuff. He may have information that I don't have yet. So it's possible he'll have something up there later. And then obviously the news sources, like the news stations, but those aren't the ones I trust. I trust the people here in this space to dig deeper and to find more information. I want to know if this 20-year-old who they're saying was a loner in high school and who was wearing, side note, was wearing a t-shirt we'll get to what this, I think this means. Was wearing a t-shirt from a YouTube channel that is a gun channel. I want to know, did this kid go shooting all the time? What was his, what did his little shooter profiles look like? Was he dead on target? Was he that good? Because to be 130 yards away and with a 22, because they said it was a 22 caliber, to be able to hit, I mean, because again, if Donald Trump had not turned, it would have hit right here. To be that good at 20, I want to know how often he was in the shooting range. I want to know more, because a lot of stuff doesn't, to me, add up. It never does. I always stand back a little with more questions than answers. But according to everything, he was wearing a t-shirt from this channel, okay, on YouTube, Demolition Ranch. Here's my problem, or here's the problem that I see coming. So YouTube already, they don't want you showing guns, and hopefully that didn't just mess me up. But my husband put up a live stream yesterday. He went live yesterday, and his live stream was taken down. And we assume it's because he was showing what was happening with Secret Service running through, trying to get to the shooter, and they had their guns in their hands. So we're assuming that YouTube took it down because of that. However, this channel is here. I have to wonder if they're even monetized, because YouTube doesn't like you having anything gun or violence related. And I worry that after stuff like this, and now they've named this person's channel in the news and everything, that stuff like this is going to have YouTube going, oh, well, can't have these channels up there anymore. Can't have anything to show you how to use your weapons. Can't have anything to show you how to store them, how to, like, what's the right kind. I feel it's going to be a huge push on, again, 2A, which is what I talked about in yesterday's live stream. This is going to be another push on, you know, a 20-year-old has a gun. They said the dad bought it, but it's going to push it so that you have to be even older to have weapons, to own weapons. You have to be older, maybe even to get into these rallies. Maybe they're going to make it so you have to be over 30 to get into a rally. Maybe they're going to make it so you have to be over 25 to purchase a handgun or any kind of gun. You can't even get a hotel room unless you're 25 or older in most places, yet you can have a gun. And I think a lot of people are going to start pushing against that, and it's going to be a big deal, and it's going to suck, just so we're all fully aware, if this ends up being the push to get rid of your constitutional 2A rights, your Second Amendment. So the other thing here is, let's see, where was I? There's so much here. Side note, thanks for hanging out with me and having this conversation. So I saw this, y'all. I saw this because originally people were saying that Trump got shot in the chest. Somebody said, I don't know if it was like a rumor or whatnot, it was going around social media for a minute yesterday, that Trump got shot in the chest. And they were like, don't worry though, he wears a bulletproof vest. And so I see this picture, and I don't really think it's anything, but it caught me for a second. So you see this here. This is Secret Service after on the stage as they're trying to get him to go away, because I recognize their faces. There's a female there somewhere. But you notice the rag that this guy is holding up to his chest. So my very first thought was, did he get shot in the chest? I saw the red and I'm like, wait, no, that's his hat. That's the MAGA hat. But I saw this rag up against his chest, and I immediately was like, oh wait, did he get something in his, like, shot in his chest? But they said he was released from the hospital after just a couple hours last night, so I'm going to say no. They have not said if there was any actual bodily harm done, minus the ear. I also don't think they would really tell us if there was. Trump may, but I don't think they would tell us if there was actual physical body harm to him. He does plan on still being at the RNC, the Republican National Convention, starting in just a couple days. Milwaukee? Is that right? Is it Milwaukee? I don't know. I didn't take that down in my notes. But he does plan on being there. Nothing is going to stop him. I mean, a graze to an ear or a shot to the chest, he still plans on being there, which I think is absolutely amazing. Let me get back to this here. So, okay, I'm going to show you this kid, even though I don't really want to, but I'm showing you this for a reason. I have a lot of Facebook friends, people I went to high school with and stuff like that. I use Facebook to keep in touch with, you know, family and friends and whatnot. See, you know, how their kids are growing up, how sports are doing, how jobs are going, whatever. A friend of mine on Facebook, a black male on Facebook, posted up this picture. And I sent it to my husband and I said, I feel like this is what the push is going to be right now. And I want to show it to you, and I want to read it to you. Let's see if we can see this. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is the kid that did the shooting. You can see he's actually wearing a flag and the Mount Rushmore shirt here, but you can see the words at the top of the screen, right? Let me read these to you real quick. It says, "You mean he wasn't a Mexican that the border let in? He wasn't a black male. Aren't we the violent ones? LOL." It's a white guy who attacked Donald Trump. It's, you know, so I feel like we're going to be hearing a lot more of that in the media, especially from Democrats and from the left. They're going to be up in arms over the fact that here we are. And one of the big things on the platform right now of all the politicians is the illegal immigration and how violence has escalated with the illegal immigration and the rapes and the murders of innocent women, and how, you know, there's all this talk about Trump being racist or Biden being racist and needing the black vote and whatever else. And I feel like the fact that the person, in theory, who of their own volition, in theory, tried to assassinate Donald Trump happens to be a white male Republican. I feel like they're going to have a field day with this throughout social media. If you jump on anything right now, whether it's YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever, you can see a massive divide on just this topic alone. I have seen a lot of TikToks from Black individuals talking about how it was staged. It was Donald Trump staged it so that he looked good. He let somebody get killed so that he looked good. And I'm like, that is going very far, in my personal opinion, very, very far, to say that somebody would intentionally let there be loss of life just so he could look good, and maybe win more votes because of an assassination attempt. That, to me, that's a little effed up, personally, to go that route, no matter who you are, no matter what you think, to go the route of saying you think that somebody who could be the president of the United States would purposefully let somebody get murdered just so they can say, I survived an assassination attempt. No matter how you feel about the man, I don't think he's capable of that at all. I don't even think Biden's capable of that, and I don't like that man. But it's really sad how social media today is fully divided on what happened. Now, I will say, do I think that this kid took it upon himself to do all these things? I can't speak on it like factually, but intellectually, stepping back, it doesn't make sense that, one, this kid was allowed to get up on this roof and that there was not enough Secret Service or security around to keep the perimeter safe. So that in itself is kind of interesting to me. Two, that they, immediately kill him, and then they're like, oh, there's all these bombs in the car, and I'm waiting for the manifesto to be found and everything else. It does feel, I can say that it does feel staged, but it doesn't feel staged in the sense of Donald Trump staging it. It feels staged in the sense of, we need to incite anger and whatever else and distrust, but it feels more lefty. It feels more, and I know it sounds wrong to say it, but it feels more of a, hey, you know what? Let's all just step back and see what happens. We're not going to really give them much security. We're not going to really make sure the whole place is safe. And if something happens, something happens. And if we don't have a Republican candidate by the name of Donald Trump on the ballot, then maybe Joe Biden wins again. That's how it feels. That's just me from right now, from what I saw yesterday, from what I have seen today, from everything I've seen, from, again, that vantage point of, you had the Secret Service snipers here, and you had this kid over here who happened to be such a good shot that he would have taken him out through his temple at 20 years old. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. There are some really good sharpshooters out there. It just doesn't seem feasible to me. Doesn't mean it's not true. It just doesn't seem feasible. So I'm just... y'all know. Now I'm going to show this picture. This is going to be graphic. I would say look away if you do not want to see this. This is an image of this guy after Secret Service got to him. The reason I'm showing you this is because, again, it doesn't seem right. So I'm going to show this image. I need you guys to understand that it's graphic, and don't look if you don't want to see. Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. All right. So here's the image. This is him, which, I would not show, but across his face, you see the blood there, and then you see the blood on the ground. Okay, that's all I'm going to do. You guys can go back and look at it if you want. The blood on his face is old, dried blood. The blood on the ground is new, fresh. The blood on his neck, new, fresh. This and this on his forehead area, whatever, and across, that is old dried blood. For anybody who's ever seen old dried blood, there's no way that is new. I don't care if it's hot out, the rest of the blood will look exactly the same. This picture alone makes me go, something feels wrong here. Something feels wrong. Something feels wrong. Because why would this be old, crusted blood and all this be brand new? It doesn't make sense. That one thing right there is what is holding me back from thinking that this was a legit assassination attempt by a legit person who did it of his own volition. There's something wrong with that picture. My personal opinion. Feel free to agree or disagree in the comments. I'd like to know your thoughts on it. But based off of how that looks, his nose looks like it's been bleeding. All of it does not make sense to me. Okay, so there's that. The other picture. This is the shirt. Well, again, I didn't really want to show him, but this is the shirt that the guy is wearing, and they're saying this is the how they knew he was. It's from that YouTube channel that I showed you. I don't remember the name. I've already forgotten it. My brain doesn't brain some days. But this is him. But I thought it was funny. It says looks very beta and soy, possibly a vegan. It's the hair and the glasses and all of it. Of course, they want to say that he was bullied in school and everything else, and it's possible, but. What's interesting to me is at the same time that this was happening, Kamala Harris also was in Pennsylvania. So was Joe Biden. So you had 3 people in Pennsylvania yesterday. You had in Philly, you had Kamala Harris. Joe Biden was, I don't know what city Joe Biden was in. And then you had President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania. Joe Biden himself was in Rehoboth, I think that's how you say it, Rehoboth Beach in Delaware, having ice cream at his beach house while Jill was campaigning for him in Pennsylvania. Okay, that's weird. But anyway, so Kamala Harris was in Philly in a town hall in Philly in an effort to mobilize, good Lord, my brain's not working today, to mobilize Asian American voters. In a sign of how important Pennsylvania is for both parties, Vice President Kamala Harris, former President Donald Trump, and First Lady Joe Biden are all campaigning in the state on Saturday. Harris spoke this afternoon at a town hall in Philadelphia hosted by APIA Vote, an advocacy group focused on mobilizing Asian American voters. Now, what's also great, not great, maybe great. We haven't heard from Melania in a very long time, right? Since Trump has been out of the presidency, she's kind of been out of the spotlight. She hasn't been at his rallies most of the time. She hasn't gone on any of the things with him, but she did come out yesterday after the shooting and say, she says, Melania Trump urges nation to ascend above the hate after assassination attempt. Melania Trump said in a statement on Sunday, so today, that when she watched the violent bullet strike former President Trump, she realized my life and Barron's life were on the brink of a devastating change. In a lengthy and personal statement, she urged the country to ascend above the hate and remember that every single politician is a man or woman with a loving family, which I do think people forget about. They may be a politician, but they still have people that care about them and that love them, even if we don't like them, who they are as politicians, whether you're talking Biden or whether you're talking Trump or anybody else, right? Now, this was her first public statement after a gunman fired the shots at the Trump rally in Pennsylvania. Trump said that he was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of his right ear, and we've already talked about this. Melania Trump thanked the brave Secret Service agents and law enforcement officials who risked their own lives to protect my husband. She says, a monster who recognized my husband as inhuman political machine attempted to wring out Donald's passions, his laughter, ingenuity, love of music, and inspiration. This is what Melania Trump wrote. Let's not forget that differing opinions, policy, and political games are inferior to love. She also expressed condolences to the families of innocent victims who are now suffering from this heinous act. Now, she is expected to make a rare appearance, just so everybody knows, a rare appearance at the RNC, the Republican National Convention this week, but she's not expected to speak. She will be at the convention, but she's not expected to take the stage or anything like that. I think that everything that we are learning about the shooter, about the whole incident, we're going to have more and more that comes out, obviously. Here's this picture. So, hold on. Authorities recovered an AR-style semi-automatic assault rifle from the scene. The guy was wearing the shirt from the popular gun YouTube channel Demolition Ranch. You can see here, so they were able to take him down from where they were after he fired the shots. How come they couldn't take him down from where they were before he fired the shots? Why were they not paying attention? What were they doing? Why weren't they looking? You can clearly see him, ridge or not. I can see him. You can see him. He's visible. Why was he missed before all of this started? This is the most flagrant display of incompetence from the Secret Service and the local police who were being told that there was somebody on that roof and they did nothing about it. I mean, it seems shady. And again, the guy up there, dried blood on his face. You have to question so many things right now. The guy who gave the statement to BBC, one, why was BBC there? Two, the guy who gave the statement to BBC, did he really see the things he saw, or is he part of whatever this all is? Did they place this kid up there as a scapegoat? Did somebody else fire the shots? Like, you have to wonder, because again, that dried blood on his face, dried crusty blood, does not match the rest of the fresh stuff. And that's what's throwing me off on everything. That and the fact that they let all of that area be susceptible to an assassination attempt, that they weren't covering it, that there was not any sort of Secret Service or security. It's crazy to me, absolutely crazy. But that's what I've got. I'm hoping there will be more answers and less questions as the day or days go on. I'm hoping they will come out with more information on exactly what was going on, and that we can trust the information that they bring us, right? So I'll be paying attention, like I said, to other channels. Oh, look, this is the other one I was going to show you. This is from somebody named John Cordillo, put this on X. Shooter was about 150 yards from Trump on a rooftop with a direct line of sight to the stage. It defies every security protocol ever written that this rooftop was not secured and law enforcement personnel were not standing up there, which is what we talked about. So this is one of the first pictures that came out of everything. And you can see this is the stage and this is where the guy was. And the Secret Service was behind Trump, and nothing again, sorry, makes absolutely no sense. And like this guy said, it defies every security protocol ever written that this rooftop was not secured. It's very shady, y'all. It's very, very shady. Gonna keep an eye on everything. I hope y'all do too. And I would love to know what you have heard. Put it in the comments. Keep us all up to date. This is a community thing. So let's all put in there things that we're learning as it's going along. Again, right now it is Sunday, July 14th, 2:15 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So as of now, this is what I have. This is what's out. There may be some more that has come out since I started all my notes and doing this, and it's going to continue, I'm sure, to develop, and I want to keep up with it. So let me know what you guys think. Give the video a like, maybe share it out with friends and family, and we'll pick this back up tomorrow if anything new comes out. If not, got some other stuff to talk about. I love you guys immensely. Have a fabulous rest of your Sunday. See you later. Bye.